What's going on, everybody? It's Dan back with another Moonshine talking. And because I've always got something going on in my life and in between work and personal and all that sort of thing, almost forgot. I went to a show this week. So it wasn't planned. It wasn't something that I had scheduled. It was kind of sperm of the moment. I got very lucky in getting to go because it was on a Tuesday. Normally for me to, not that you need to know all the gory details of my life, but with my job being what it is, particularly with it being a situation where, due to the nature of what I do, Valentine's Day is coming up. That's kind of a busy time for us. And normally on Tuesdays, if I'm to get a night off to go to a show, I got to switch with somebody. The plan this past week was I was going to go to a show last Friday on the 31st. I was supposed to go see Deicide, Venom Inc., Nasty Savage, Narcotic Wasteland, and I want to say they had one or two other bands playing with them. And that was supposed to be in a town called Mount Dora at some sort of theater that's there. And it was about 2 hours away, and I was all set to do it. I was excited. I actually ran into Nasty Ronnie. He was telling me about it, and somebody else had tipped me off that the show was going on. I was all stoked because I didn't get to see Deicide back in October, and it was gonna be cool to see. Even though I just saw Narcotic Wasteland, it'd be good to see them again. It'd been great to see Nasty Savage again on a bigger stage. See them with Venom Inc. I've never seen before, and it would have been great to see Deicide for the first time in forever. So I was all set to do that. Long story short, show got canceled. Don't know when it got canceled. Don't know why it got canceled, but it got canceled. Best I can figure is because when I initially looked to see how much tickets were, I saw there weren't a lot of, it didn't look like a lot of seats had been sold out at that point, which was like 2 weeks ago. And on top of that, Mount Dora itself, it's kind of like it's a small, like I want to say almost like a sleepy town from what I heard. A lot of old people live there. So depending on where over east of Tampa that you are and where that is, it might have been one of those places where maybe they didn't want a band like Deicide playing there and Venom Inc. and they're seeing all the pentagrams and upside down crosses and crap, and they decided, yeah, we don't want that here. But honestly, I think it was more. I just don't know if they generated a lot of ticket sales for that one. And then apparently Venom Inc. was here over the weekend. They played the Brass Mug. I don't know if this was just something they figured, well, what the hell, we're in Florida. Let's try to set this up. So short story long, that's what happened. And then, as luck would have it, Tuesday came around and it was super dead at my job. So I asked my boss because with Valentine's Day coming up, Valentine's Day is on a Friday. If you're not familiar, if you are and you got a wife or girlfriend or whatever, just know Valentine's Day is on Friday, next Friday. So be prepared if you're into that sort of thing. If you're not, then don't worry about it. But it's kind of busy for me. So I'm going to have to go in on my day off, yada, yada, blah, blah. So I negotiated getting to slip out for a little bit. So yeah, so it was, so the show on Tuesday was Decapitated. They were performing Nihility in its entirety. Incantation was co-headlining. They were the feature act. They were performing Mortal Throne of Nazarene in its entirety. And then they were supported by Darkest Hour and ExMortem. So this would be pretty much, other than my meandering, rambling preamble getting into this, I'm not going to have much to tell you other than just my thoughts on the show. I didn't get to see Darkest Hour. I didn't get to see ExMortem. I pretty much, for me, I've never seen Incantation before. I really wanted to see them. I've missed them probably like two or three times since they've come to Florida in the past. They were touring with Goat Whore a couple years ago, and I missed that. Then I forget who else they were with, and I missed that one too. So I didn't really want to miss this one, and it seemed cool. considering the set that they were going to do. So I begged, pleaded, and negotiated, and was able to get time off to at least slip out. And that's pretty much what I did. I kind of, in my mind, in my mind's eye, I figured out when the bands were going to play. I knew when the doors open. I had a general idea of when they typically, from doors opening till first band goes on stage. I kind of had an idea. Then I just kind of tracked it from there. Like, okay, this band's probably going to play this long plus a sound check. Then this band will play this long, then a sound check, and that's when. So I figured probably this. I had a time in mind when I could leave my job, go to the show, get there right in time for Incantation, maybe check out some of Decapitated. Because even though I liked seeing that, they were great. They put on a good show, a good performance. It was great seeing them. They also have a Decap as a new vocalist with them, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they're a tremendous tech death band, as many of you know. If you don't, they're a tech death band from Poland. Incantation is their legendary death metal band, kind of death doomy, a little bit on that side of things, but legendary death metal band. They've been around for well over 30 years, and but I had just seen Decapitated. I kind of lost my train of thought very briefly, but I had just seen Decapitated last year. I forget when it was, but they were just here, so it wasn't like it wasn't like the be all end all if I were to have missed them. But I really wanted to see Incantation. So anyhow, I got on the road. I All my staff took their breaks, and then I was able to dip out, and I did. Got to the show, got to the door. I saw Incant were already on stage. I asked how long they had been on stage. They said I don't think they've been on too long. But yeah, walked in, saw Vince from Virulence, almost knocked down a friggin' barricade trying to get over and say hi to him. Asked him how long they've been on stage. He said they've been on about 10 minutes. So he said, hey man, you got here just in time. And so got to check them out, and they were great. I mean, and the place was packed. I mean, it was pretty packed up for this one. The pit was lively. Everybody was having a good time, and they just killed it. They were just so crushing and heavy, and just the musicianship is off the charts good. And John McEntee, he's like a freaking evil wizard, just commanding control over the crowd, casting spells on them. And yeah, they just did a great job. This right here is the only bit of footage that I did take. I didn't get the whole song because after a while, because I don't know any of you who how deeply you follow my channel, but I'm dealing with a shoulder injury right now. So it got towards the end. My shoulder started giving out just a little bit. So it was starting to cramp up and everything. So I ended up putting the phone down. I was like, okay, no sense in killing myself and doing more damage to my shoulder than I already have. But yes, they were good. And then they played for, I want to say, by the time I got there, they might have played for another half hour or so, give or take a few minutes. But they did a great job. And then and they were definitely off the stage by around a little before 10 o'clock. But they were great. They did an excellent job. It was very cool. You know, I could have left right then and there, but I'm not going to tell you how much tickets were, but for the amount of money that I spent, I was like, I am definitely going to see Decap and get a little bit of my money's worth out of this night. So they got on, and they were killing it. They did a fantastic job. Tremendous band, very technically proficient, brutal and heavy in all facets. Their drummer is magnificent on the kit, behind the kit. He's just so fast and so precise, and it's just heavy as all get out. And the new vocalist, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I know they got a brand new vocalist that's touring with them. He did a great job. His vocals are a little bit different than the previous vocalist that was with him. I'm not like the biggest Decapitated fan, but the dude with the dreads, who I saw last time, he's probably got more of like a guttural, like a deeper tone to his voice. Where this guy, his had a little bit, where the previous vocalist was like down here with the gutturalness. This guy was a little bit higher up on the register, but still did a great job, did the songs justice. Everyone was having a blast. Standing next to a couple of guys, and unfortunately, some jackass, I don't know if he got punched in the gut or he drank too much or whatever, but he was walking past me and a couple other people, and I didn't realize what he was doing at first, but he started puking. So fortunately, he covered his mouth, but it was still the fact that he just left a pile of puke laying on the ground in front of us. And then he came back probably like 2, 3 minutes later, and he's like doing the whole walking through the crowd and grabbing people on the shoulders. And me and a couple other people were like, bro, I really hope that you washed yourself off, because I want you leaving puke on my shirt on the shoulder. But and it was funny because then a couple guys next to me started talking about that, so it was a good time. But yeah, other than that, listened to probably, I want to say, like 6 or 7 songs from Decapitated. And then they got to the point where they said they had 3 songs left. The first of the 3, I listened to most of that, but it was getting around that time I had to get back to work because I did promise to get back to work and close up the store. So yeah, so that was that. So I headed out, and it was fun. It was very, very short, very to the point. Yeah, so that was the show. It was a good one. It was definitely cool. Again, I was stoked that I got to see Incantation. It just, the planets aligned for me, and I was able to go check them out. So, yeah, that is not quite a review of the show, but just figured I would share that with everybody since my stupid got hit in the head once too often brain glitched out, and I forgot that, yeah, I wanted to mention this. So yeah, so that was that. That's that. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Take it easy, have a good one, and I will catch you on the next video, which will be a review of 16's Guide for the Misguided. And yeah, so that's what I got. All right, everyone, take it easy. I'm done. I'm gonna go watch movies or something. Maybe go listen to some more music. I don't know. I'll figure something out. All right, take it easy. Later.